Well, I suppose we better get into it. Seems to be a little bit of weight in it. Maybe a bubble wrap. Ooh, oh. Nicely presented. Nice solid box. What else we got? Receipt of purchase. Nicely presented. Pretty close now. Put this rubber flavor in. Now, a review is not much good if you're not honest with the people who at least watch it. So in this case, you got to call it as you see it. And I'd say if I was going into a shop actually to buy an Explorer, out of 10, the chances of buying one would probably be 3, because they do look a bit plain, but they may grow on you after a while, so it's really hard to say whether it suits everybody. Like I said, if I was going into a shop, I think I'd be walking back out. Alright guys, back again after my little episode the other day. It's 3 days later, and I must admit, when I opened the box for the first time and looked at that Rolex, I was pretty well shocked. I was more like the old feral fox in the spotlight, sort of just there gazing, looking at it and stuff like that, and I thought to myself, geez, it's a without a doubt a very plain looking watch, and I don't know, I was probably expecting something a little bit more fancy or something, although I'd watched a few YouTube videos on it. In reality, once I'd got the watch, well, and opened it up, which I will now, everyone mentions how plain, simple it is, and it's a good watch for all purpose. My first impressions was highly overpriced. But anyway, there is the watch, and I don't know, I really don't think I can. I might be just hard to please, but I really don't think I can live with it unless I got no choice. I don't know how I'm going to carry on with this idea, but like when you sort of get an idea of something what you'd like to buy or something like that, and then when reality hits and you never get a chance to see it until it arrives in front of you, well, if you look back at the video there, that video went on for 4 minutes and I never said a bloody word. I was virtually speechless. I was thinking, shit, over $8 grand for this watch, and looks like it's worth $50. But there's not much I can do about that now, so the idea is, what am I going to do? Well, I've thought a few things in the last 3 days, and I don't know, I think I'll put it on Gumtree and see if I can sell it, because I really don't think this watch is much good to me, but I'll see what happens and give it a bit more thought. There's either that, or maybe it might look a bit different on the band, different sort of band or something like that, but it's just, for a watch you got to, it's very hard to get at the moment on the, and you got to be on a waiting list and put a deposit down to get one. To me, I think it's a bit of a, at this stage, a bit of a letdown or a disappointment, and no doubt if I could have bought the Submariner or got hold of one of those, that may have been a bit different, a little bit more fancier watch, but this one here is, to me, is a pretty plain looking watch, and without stuffing around, that's my thoughts on it. Hi guys, it's 1 week later now and still got the watch. Still haven't been able to decide what to do about it. I set it up in, or I set it on the selling site Gumtree to see how that'd go. I think in 1 day period I got a actual 300 people took a look at it. A couple of people came back with some stupid offers, and then as usual the scammers come in, and I thought, oh bugger that, so I'll pull it back down, forget that stupid idea. So let it go another couple of more days, put it up again, got myself 60 views in 1 day and still up there now, and a couple of more silly inquiries or swaps or anything like that. Meanwhile, I'd looked at a couple of other people that had these watches, and they said they go well on the NATO band or whatever it's called. So I ordered one of those in green, and or khaki, whatever it is, and I thought I might give that a bit of a trial if I got no choice and have to keep it and wear it. So that's the latest idea there. So we'll see what pans out. Hi guys, back to the watch again. Here we are, still 2 weeks later and no sale. I didn't think really I'd have that much trouble moving this, but apparently it's a lot harder to move than you think. I originally paid AD price of $82.50, and when I placed it up for sale I didn't think that I was out there ripping anyone off, and I decided just to put it up eight grand and see if I get the sale on that way. I know there's a bit of a waiting list on the watches and stuff like that, so I figured for a brand new watch, not really worn, 8 grand's pretty good for a hard to get item. So it got me thinking, all this crap on the internet about, everyone gets on there and talks about how hard it is to get the steel ones and you can't buy one anywhere. Well, now I'm up to around about 800 views on this watch, and so far not one genuine bite, so it makes you wonder, what do all the people on the tube talk crap about what's available and what's not available, what you can't get, what you have to wait for and stuff like that? Or is it just these Rolex Explorers are just a plain Jane watch and no one's interested in buying it? I would have thought that if there was somebody keen out there to buy it and actually knew the watch, a lot of the people I've had talks to haven't really seen the watch, so they're like me, bad person to deal with. But if you actually knew the watch and stuff like that, you know what you're buying, you know what it looks like, and you would have thought that if you were on a 3 months waiting list or something like that, or a bit longer in some of them, you'd be keen to say, oh yeah, I'll take it now, if it's like he says, with all the paperwork. But that's just a bit of a filling up to date. So Gumtree's not producing any results that way, but this watch I'm still deciding at this stage whether, if I don't get the sale, I'll put the green band on it and then just use it as an everyday watch and just go from there, or whether or not I'll just keep pushing on to see if we can get the sale. But I never thought, after I'd heard all the crap on the internet about how hard the steels are to get, I thought I would have been flooded by someone ready to just hand over, buy one like that, save yourself a few dollars, and they've actually got one in their hands. But at this stage, not the case. Oh well, today I decided at least try the watch on and see how it looks. I suppose it's not as bad as what I think it is on the wrist, but so I'll go for the, as they go on it, is it wristwatch check? Anyway, that's how it looks. First time I've actually tried it on and see how it goes, but still don't think that'll save it. The worst part about it, when I did contact the dealer, I could have bought the bloody, I really inquired about the Submariner with the without date, or even with date, and I would have bought either one of them, but this was the only one that the closest time, or the other was a year plus, like I mentioned earlier in the videos, to get onto them, and I'm not going to wait a year just for a watch, so I'm not that desperate. And so seeing I got this a bit quicker, but you know, I don't really know what's going to happen further on down the track, but surely there must be somebody who wants to contact me, get this watch, piss it off out of the place, and that gives them a good Christmas, and sees me clear of the Rolex things for a while and back to motorbikes. Hi guys, so that's about it for my video on my venture into Rolex and the purchase of a Rolex Explorer. Just goes to show you that not everyone that buys a Rolex is happy with it. You may be happy with something not quite as expensive or something like that, so fact is, it was probably a bit of a gamble to see what it was like, and I think more importantly, if anyone wants to buy this watch, contact me or look on Gumtree Australia, and there it should be sitting there, and the only thing that'll separate you and the watch is the few dollars you got to hand over. So apart from that, well, you'll be getting virtually a brand new watch, and it's only a couple of weeks old, and no doubt it could go to someone that appreciates it more than me, and more importantly, it'd probably be better off with someone that would treat it a lot better than me, because if I do put it on this band, what it's worth now probably won't be the same value it's worth after I start wearing it, because I don't think I'd treat it with much respect anyway. So it'd be better if it could go to a good home, and someone that really appreciates something a bit better in that more luxury brand of watch than me. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video, or found it interesting, or filled in a bit of your time, or whatever the case may be. And that is the end of the Rolex Explorer. What some call a luxury watch, or what I'd call just a plain Jane watch. Thanks for looking.